What's up, y'all? How are y'all doing tonight? What's going on? I just wanted to join today because, I get questions quite a bit on the Navy Federal Auto Loan. And I just wanted to talk about these three questions that I recently got over the past couple of days. So come on in here. And if you have any questions that you would like for me to answer, you can always put it in the chat. But how has y'all's Monday been going? I cannot believe it's already May. This year done went by so fast. So fast. But let me know, what city are you coming from? Drop a chat comment in there and let me know. So I just wanted to come on here and chit chat with you guys for a bit and see what's going on. How are y'all doing? And then we'll chat about some other things because y'all, my sister messaged me yesterday and told me that she had got some of her student loans. Now she was in the public service, but she got a lot of her student loans forgiven. And I'm just like, whoa, like how amazing is that? And I need to kind of figure out what they are saying about the student loans because I haven't really heard a whole lot here lately about it. And we only have until I think about like June the 30th or so. So I need to kind of, see what's going on. But I'm just like, man, if I could get my, because I think I got about 57,000 in my student loans left. So we'll have to see. But overall, today, I really wanted to talk about these questions. It's kind of like the most common questions that I get with Navy Federal's auto loan. So let me share my screen with you guys. Let's see. All right. So one of the most common questions that I get like all the time is, what happens if I get approved for 25,000 but I only spend 20,000 on a used car? What am I supposed to do with the rest? So this is like a very common question. Let's see. Hold on for a sec. So we have Four Corners Custom Products LLC. What's going on? Thank you so much for joining. All right. So this question that I have up here, this is very common, and I think that it's a great question. So what happens is, let's say you're trying to get the Navy Federal Auto Loan, you go onto the site, you or you call, because when I did it, I actually called. Now, when I called, I had a number in mind, $20,000, because I didn't want to go over 20,000, but I really wanted to go under 20,000. I really wanted like 17,000 or 18,000. So what happens is, you will either have to go pick up your check from Navy Federal, or you can get them to certify mail you a check. And I got my check certified mail, and because I got approved on a Saturday, and I believe I had my check like that Monday or Tuesday. And so once I went to the dealership, I didn't let them know that I had a check right off the bat. And so I just went and, I test drove some cars and things like that. And then once I kind of knew what I wanted, I kind of had my eye on a car. Then I told my dealer, I have a check. So I'm not going to have to, they're not going to have to run my credit. And so I think that's really like the second most common question. So I would say, once you get your check from Navy Federal and you go to the dealership, for no reason should they have to run your credit. So that's the big thing. Do not let them run your credit, because you have the check. Once you have the check, to me, that's all you need. You have everything that you need. And so what you'll do, you'll negotiate for whatever car it is that you want. So I had got the Hyundai Tucson, and I believe mine was like 26,000, but I had a trade in, and then I negotiated to 20,000. And so my car ended up being 20,000. But in this question, if your check is for 25,000 and you only get a car for 20,000, what happens with that additional 5,000? Basically, it just disappears, because when you are at the dealership and once you negotiate whatever your car amount is, and this is going to be 20,000, although you got a car for 25,000, well, although you got a check for 20,000, you only negotiated for your car to be 20,000, which I think is great. And so your loan is only going to be for 20,000. So what'll happen is you will go to accounting within the dealership, and then they're going to call Navy Federal, and then they're going to give them all of the details of the car. So the final negotiation amount for the car, the VIN details, and all that kind of stuff. And then once that happens, then the car is yours. And then a couple of days after that, you'll get a promissory note from Navy Federal saying that your final cost of your car is whatever was at the dealership. So in this instance, 20,000. Because he stated that he got approved for 25, but he only spent 20,000 on a used car. So his auto loan is only going to be for 20,000. And the rest of it, because it's really like you're just pre-qualified for an amount, and your budget is 25,000, and you don't want to go over 25,000. But if you go under 25,000, then you're doing good in my book. Because, especially like with interest rates and things like that, I would not want my auto loan to be that much. So probably for me, as least as I could, but that's all depending on what kind of car you want and how you want it. So now, on the other hand, if you are approved for 25,000, but you find a car for 30,000, then that means you would have to pay 10,000 out of your own money. And you can do it that way. So you don't always have to, let's say if you want to get a car for 30,000, you don't necessarily have to get a car. You don't have to get pre-approved for the full 30. You only want to get the check for the 20,000. So then you would pay the rest down. And so that is a way that you can do that. But I think that that's a great question. Next, someone asked, and they were stating that I just got pre-approved and I was looking to use the leftovers to make upgrades to my vehicle. How can I do that? And I was just like, whoa, that is a pretty good question, because out of all the questions that I've gotten before, I've never gotten that question. But see, the only thing is, and what I said in the comment was, really for that, you would really have to make all of your whatever kind of upgrades and things to the car at the time, and it would have to be at the dealership. Because whatever, in this same example, you have a check for 25,000, but your car is only for 20,000, so you have that 5,000 left. So let's say at the dealership you want to get, like, when I had got my car, they had offered me something to where I could get like a spill, like something on the seats to where if I spilled something, it wouldn't really hurt the car. Or let's say if you want to get some coating on the car or some extra rims or, whatever. I'm not for sure, what kind of real upgrades you can do. Maybe you want to get tinted windows on the car. You can do that at the dealership. So you would do all of that at the dealership at the time before that. You would want to get all that set up with the check once you're at accounting, because once you go to accounting and whatever you negotiate the car for, then that's what you're approved for. So I advise this person, as long as they do it before, then I think that they should be okay, but they would have to do all the upgrades at the dealership. And they weren't specific to say, if they were, let's say if you were trying to go and do, get upgraded tires or something, and you wanted to go somewhere else, then you would not be able to use the money left over from the check, only at the dealership. So I think that that's a great question. And then let's see. this last question that I got, they were asking, oops, let me see. Here we go. How long after the dealership calls Navy Federal do you get the car? Because some dealerships won't release the car until all funds are transferred. And I was just like, wow. Because I know when I got my car, once I had negotiated for the 20,000 and I had went to accounting and then they called up Navy Federal, I was able to drive off with the car really just like you would any other time, so to me, just because you get a check is not really any different. The only difference is that they will not be running your credit, you know so you should be able to drive off the lot with your car just as soon as they finish at accounting, calling up Navy Federal and things like that. So I think that is a really good question as well. So we got Wally in the house. What's up, Wally? I hope that you're doing well today. And let's see, we got Brandon. Brandon said, I got approved for the MasterCard. Let's see, for the MasterCard first, progressing towards the Platinum Select Secured Card. So, Brandon, I'm not for sure if you're talking about, it sounds like you got now this is the MasterCard. So, did you get the Navy Federal Flagship? I'm not for sure because, well, no, the Navy Federal Flagship is a Visa. And then for the cash rewards, you can get it in a Visa or a MasterCard. And then they have the Navy Federal Platinum. So you just have to let me know exactly which card are you referring to. And then we have Mano in the chat. What's up? How are you doing? I hope that you're doing well. I hope that y'all had a great day on this Monday, the first day of the month for May. So that's good. My birthday is in May, so pretty excited about my birthday month. And I was talking to my sister today, and she's talking about she gonna be celebrating the whole month because I do have a twin sister, and so we we usually always do things and stuff for our birthday together. So she lives upstate New York, and so she's talking about she gonna be celebrating for the whole month. So we'll see. Okay, Brandon said no, it's the first Progress Platinum Secured card. Okay. I do think that getting secured credit cards, I think that's a great way to either build your credit, or even if, because sometimes people that you don't have to have, let's say, a bad credit score to get a secured card. Sometimes people really don't want credit cards, but let's say if they want something that's a little bit more secure, maybe they can get the secured credit card and then they can use that when they are purchasing things online. But you'll just have to use, let's say you want to put 500 or 1,000 or however much you want on the secure card, but then you just have to make sure to pay off the card. You still have to pay it off every month, even though you're using your money to fund the secure card. That's the only thing about it, because it's still going to be calculating your credit utilization, your payment history, but then it's also going to build your length of credit, which is good and stuff like that. So, I think that it's really good to get a secure card if you need to. I think the Discover It, they have a good secure card, and then even Navy Federal has the N Rewards. That's going to be a good card, and I believe that one graduates to the Cash Rewards credit card. So, if it's needed, I think that it's great to do a secure card. Let's see. Mano said, just trying to soak up this game. Cool. If you guys have any questions, just put them in the chat and we will just chat about it. But overall, I just wanted to jump on here and talk about some of these questions that I get as it relates to the Navy Federal auto loan, because I do get a lot of questions about it. And I think that it is, good questions. Let's see if I can go over to the site, because I know when I got my auto loan, um I used a lot of the calculators on the site. So here, let me share my screen with you guys again. Let's see, can we see it? Hold on, let's see. And so they have a lot of really good calculators on the site, to where you can go on there and see possibly what your monthly payments are going to be and things like that. So here, let me see if I can share my screen. Let's see. Okay, here we go. All right. So you're just going to come over here, and then you're going to go over to auto loans, and they have a lot of different resources that you can check out. And so what I really liked is the auto loan calculator. And this will kind of tell you what your monthly payment will be. And then they also have, if you want to do a new or used. So I think that that's really good. But then they'll also come over here, and you can take a look at the different interest rates. And so this is kind of how I decided, okay, how many months did I want to do my auto loan for? So I had originally did mine for 60 months, but at the time when I did my auto loan, the interest rates were a lot lower than they are now. And so I said I would do 60 months. But you see, if you have a 36-month loan, then you're going to be able to get the lowest interest rate at 5.54%. And so this really kind of helped me to decide what did I want. And then you can see here, you have new, you have late model, used, and then used. And then it'll just kind of give you, okay, if you get a used vehicle, it has to be 2021 or older. And then any model over 30,000. So it'll just kind of give you like a brief description. So it's saying late model used. So that's going to be a 2022, 2023, but it can only have between 7,500 to 30,000 miles. And originally, when I had got my auto loan, I really thought that I was going to get a used car. I didn't think I was going to get a new car, because it was just like I really didn't want to get anything over 20,000. And so I was just like, well, maybe I'll just get a used car. So when I called to, start the auto loan pre-approved process, I said that I was going to get a used car, and I didn't say that I was going to do a trade-in. And then I ended up getting a new car, and I ended up doing a trade-in. So once you actually get the check from Navy Federal, you still have options to where you can be a little bit flexible, as long as you don't go over what the check amount is. Now, if you find a car and you need to go over the, whatever the check is, you can always call Navy Federal up, and then they can send you another check. And for the most part, it's possible that you might have to go through another pre-approval, but I'm pretty sure that they have, up to a certain cap that maybe you don't, but you just have to give them a call. Let's see. So we have Before the Billions in here. What's going up, Before the Billions? I hope that you're doing well. What's going on? How are you doing? I thank you guys for joining the live stream today. And just let me know if you have any questions as it relates to the Navy Federal Auto Loan pre-approved process, or even if you have any other questions. But just let me know. So when you go over to the Navy Federal site, it's going to give you a lot of different, it's going to let you know what the interest rates are. And so now you can actually get auto loans up to 96 months. So y'all have to let me know in the comments, would you do an auto loan for 96 months? That is a long time. Before the billions, I've been doing good. Things are good. I tried to go walking today, but it was so chilly outside. I'm just like, at borderline feel like it's winter again, because it's like, it has to be maybe like 62 degrees or something, but the wind is blowing. But it's really nice out there, and it'll kind of fool you to where you think it is warm out there. But then when you go outside, I'm just like, ooh, it is so cold. It is really cold. Let's see. Before the billion said, I recently applied for a car loan, but they denied me because, let's see, they're emailing asking for, they're asking for additional. You didn't see the email where they were asking for additional information. And I think that is, that's good, because if I remember correctly, have you been with them more than 3 months or so? Now, this is a thing. I don't know that it really matters. Because I know, let's say, even like my sister had joined Navy Federal, and then in the same day, she had applied for the auto loan. Now, when she applied, they did ask her to send some additional information. And so she had to send some additional information, and she got approved. Now, when I applied, they didn't ask me for any additional information, but I do believe that I had been with them for probably a year or so. So before the billions, I probably would still call up there and see if you could still get that open back up. So he said, I applied, I had just opened the account. Yeah. And I think that that's okay. It's just that since you haven't established anything with them, of course, they're going to need some additional information. But you can still get approved just as long as you send that information in. And that's what my sister did. She sent in the information, and actually, she ended up not even getting a car. So she did not even use the check. But I would still, I wouldn't count myself out. I would probably call them and then just state, well, I didn't see the email that you sent, because I'm pretty bad on emails too. Sometimes I'm just like, how you really just don't see them. So I would just give them a call and see if you can get that open and go ahead and get approved, because I'm pretty sure once you send out your information, I would assume that you wouldn't have any issues, because you got a really good credit score and all that kind of stuff. So I think that you would be approved, but they just need more time. And I would say that that's the same thing with any of the credit cards and things like that. I do feel like, because when I had joined Navy Federal, and probably not even a month, I had applied for the Navy Federal Flagship, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get approved for 25,000 and all that kind of stuff. And they only approved me for like 6,900 or 6,700, something like that. And see, the thing is, I feel like the longer you establish a relationship with Navy Federal, so doing direct deposit and depositing money in your account, because see, that's what I did when I joined. I was not depositing any money. I didn't I wasn't using really any of their services, but I did have an account with them. And then I went ahead and applied for the Flagship, and then just barely got. I'm just like, to get approved for less than 10,000, like, whoa, that's just low. That's just too low to get, not even get approved for over 10,000. But then when I had got my second credit card with Navy Federal, then I got approved for 25. And then I am seeing more people responding to comments saying that they had got approved, but I think a lot of people are waiting a little bit longer to establish, or they're going ahead and depositing money, getting a pledge loan and things like that. Let's see. I'll reapply for it later when I want to look for a car again. Okay. Before the billions, what kind of car are you wanting to get? Yeah, man, I hate that happened, but man, that I guess that can happen from time to time, because I know I'm kind of bad with emails sometimes, and so you know sometimes you don't see it, but I'm pretty sure that you can give them a call and go ahead and get that started up again. Because I will say, like, the Navy Federal pre-approved process for the auto loan, I would say it was pretty much the easiest process ever. Because when you do call them, and you can call them or you can go on the site, and when I called, because I had a couple of questions, and so it was maybe like 30 minutes, but really all they're going to do is they're going to ask you how much is your annual income, and then how much is your rent or mortgage. And then they'll ask you, are you going to have a co-signer? And then, are you going to put a down payment? And see, the thing is, technically, you really don't have to put a down payment, but it's really going to depend on how much are you really wanting your auto loan. Because some people, let's say they want to get a car for 40,000 or something, but maybe they have 20,000 saved, and then they only want to get a auto loan for 20,000. Then they could just get the pre-approved for 20,000, because especially looking at these interest rates, because that's going to be, let's say if you do 60 months, then that's going to be 5%. And let's see if we can go over to the resources and the calculator. And so let's see if you well, that's not bad. So let me see, 20,000 for 60 months. So now 20,000 for 60 months, that'll be $377. So that's not too bad. But if you start going up into the months, then it'll lower it. Let's see. But you'll have to increase the interest rate if you go up in months. So yeah, so I think most definitely, once you are looking for a to get a car and you want to get the loan through Navy Federal, especially use these calculators. And then also, I use the Loan You Later app, and I really love the Loan You Later app, because it'll even tell you, okay, over the course of the loan, how much interest will you end up paying. So when I did it, it was saying that I was going to end up paying maybe like $1,500 in interest. But since I had paid it off early, I think that I really didn't even end up paying a full car payment in interest. So I might have paid maybe like 330 or something like that in interest. And so it really just depends on what are you looking for when you get an auto loan. Do you rather have a lower payment and longer months, or do you want a higher payment and shorter months? And so that's going to depend on which loan that you get. Let's see. Before the billion said he was looking for a Honda. That's pretty cool, because somebody on, I think it was on the last live stream, was saying that, I think it was Gene. It could have been Gene. And Gene was saying that he has a Honda. It was either a Honda or Acura. and he had like 300, I don't know if he had like 300,000 miles, but I thought that was so cool because I'm just like, I am really trying to put 100,000 miles on a car because I have not put 100,000 miles on a car yet. And I even had a car for 14 years and I didn't put 100,000 miles on there. I only put like, I think I only put like 85,000 miles on it. And that was my Sunfire. I called it the Spitfire because that thing would go. And man, that car was amazing. I'm like, they just don't make cars like that anymore because y'all, I did not have no problems out of that car, just like regular maintenance, for the whole time. And I think maybe it probably was like 12 years or something. And I might have had to get something minor done. Now, I will say my O2 sensor was out and then my check engine light was on all the time. But whenever I would get gas and I had to go through emissions, it would always come off. And so it was okay. But that car didn't give me no problems. And then, so I have my Hyundai Tucson 2021. I bought that car brand new, and I had to get a transmission last month on that car. So I was really kind of disappointed in that. But the good thing is that I was able to, since I had the warranty, so I had bumper to bumper, because I think I have bumper to bumper to like 60,000 miles, I think. But then I have powertrain for 100,000 miles. So you'll have to let me know when you get a car, are you thinking about those things, with the warranties and stuff? And even with Navy Federal, I ended up getting the gap insurance. So I got gap insurance and I only had the car I only had the loan for a year. And I thought I was going to get some of my money back from the gap insurance. And I didn't even get none of the money back. So I thought that was funny. The O2 sensor is an easy fix. I don't know, because it seems like I had got it fixed or something. And it but it seemed like the check engine light would always that check engine light was on for like 6 years or something, but it never gave me no problem. So that car was just like, man. And I know somebody's still driving that car and they don't have a car payment. So I was just like, dang, because I ended up going, I donated it to the Kidney Foundation, and then I ended up seeing somebody driving it. Let's see. I'm going to work on my own maintenance mostly. Whoa, that's pretty cool. Before the billions. So you can change your oil and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that is cool. So let's see what else. Here, let me share my screen again. I'm trying to think of some of the other questions. I would say the main thing in relation to when you get your auto loan through Navy Federal is not letting the dealership um, run your credit. Do not let the dealership run your credit. Let's see. Let me go back. Okay. And then the second thing I would say is not to let them run your credit, and really decide how much you want your car note, how much do you want your loan to be? So do you only want to go to 20,000? Do you want to have a little bit of buffer just in case you find a car, but it's still within your range? Because that's what I pretty much did. I really kind of looked at my budget and I was just like, well, I really didn't want my auto loan to be over like 300. I said really $350, but my loan ended up being $357. And I said I was going to pay it off within the well, yeah, 3 years. I said 3 years, but I just started kind of like tackling it and ended up paying it off in a year, even though I had got the loan for 60 months. And so, that's really what I wanted to do. But the main thing for me was not getting the loan to where the car note was going to be, kind of outside of my budget. And I think that that is a big thing. Yes, I think that's good. But I would definitely say use some of the tools that they have on the site, which is really cool. Yeah, I think that these tools are really good. And always call Navy Federal if you have any additional questions about your loan, because they are always so willing to answer your questions and things like that. And then also, because they send me emails and stuff in the mail about refinancing. And so let's say if you had got your loan through the dealership and then you join Navy Federal, and let's say if you have a really high interest rate and then you want to refinance it, that's always an option. And sometimes they'll give you like $200 or $300 to refinance your auto loan. But you'll just have to make sure, because I think usually if you refinance it, you would really want to refinance it with probably a lesser term. That way you won't be having any negative equity in the car. But you'll have to kind of take a look and see what's best for you. So yeah. But before the billions, you have to let me know, since you have joined Navy Federal, have you gotten any credit cards with Navy Federal yet? Because I know that's the big thing. Go ahead and getting the credit cards. And let's see, because I think this is another good question, because I get asked all the time, which credit card do I think people should get? And I'm always gonna say, even though the Navy Federal Flagship is my favorite, I'm gonna say the Navy Federal More Rewards. That is a really good card. And plus, it doesn't have an annual fee on it. And because you get 3 times the points for groceries, 3 times the points for gas, and 3 times the points for dining. And then 1 times the points for everything else. Let's see. What did before the Let's see. Before the billion said, I was thinking about getting some cash out of my equity in my house. Wow, that is a really good thought. Let me see. It was several years ago when I refinanced my house. And when I refinanced my house, I didn't get any equity. But let's say if you are, do you really have a plan for what you would do with the money, especially since it would be, kind of like another loan. And if you could get a really good interest rate on it, then I would say it's possible. But I would say, if I am going to get any equity out, what exactly am I going to do with the money? And so that's how I would take a look into that. But I think that is very interesting. Let's see. I haven't done anything with Navy Federal since I got denied. The savings interest rate is way too low compared to other savings. Wow. Now, before the billions, did you because I had somebody else had commented on one of the other videos that I had, because I was talking about the I had did the certificate, and they, let me see, right now it is 4.55 for that one, and you have to do 3 months to 7 years, as low as 1,000. And then this is the easy start, and it's 4.45 with the lowest of $50, and you can do from 6 months to 24 months. And before the billions, I need to go and check because I had ended up I wondered if I could I wish I would have checked before I had came on here. Let me see if I can check. I had I got the certificate, and it's gonna end up being a 5% interest rate. So that was gonna be the highest within, I think it was like 10 years. And so month over month, I've really earned a pretty good amount, especially compared to, let's say, like your regular savings. So I do have my regular savings with Navy Federal, and you get like dividends every month. And I want to say last year when I had calculated it, I don't even think I had earned $11 or something like that. I know for sure for like 6 months, maybe I had earned $11 or so. And already with this, I had got the certificate. It might be like 60, maybe like $62 I've already earned, and I had just got this certificate in January. So I got it on January the 24th, and I've already gotten maybe like $62 or so. So that's pretty good. But see, the only thing about the certificates is once you put the money in there, you can't take the money out. And so I'll have this certificate, I believe, for 12 to 15 months. It might be 15 months, but I can't remember. Let me see. It could be 15 months. Yeah, so I've earned about $65 within the last since January the 24th. So that's pretty good. And then before the billion says I got $14 interest from Ally Bank. Yeah, because Ally has a good one as well. Yeah, I was looking at that one too. Let me see. Yeah, heat locks are good. Yeah, before the billions, I would definitely look into the heat locks if you are wanting to take any equity out. Let's see. Charles said, "Can you be denied if you have a high credit score with a low internal score?" Charles, what I will say is really going to depend. So if you are, I would always maybe do the pre-qualify. So I would pre-qualify and see what let's see, let's go on here. Now, because see, when I had applied for my first credit card with Navy Federal, and usually when I would apply for credit cards, I would never do the pre-qualify because I always felt like my credit score and my credit profile was really good. So I never got denied for credit cards. And so I would always apply. So even when I had applied with Navy Federal, I would say that I probably had a low internal score. I probably didn't even have an internal score because when I first joined Navy Federal, it was probably not even a month, and then I had applied for the Flagship. Now I still got approved, but I only got approved for 6,700. So the thing is, do you want to get approved and just get approved, or do you want to get approved and get a high limit? I think those are two different things. So that's why I suggest if you are wanting to get approved for high limits, then when I joined Navy Federal, I really should have did it differently. And so if I joined Navy Federal today, I would probably wait at least 3 months before I apply for a credit card, and I would go ahead and do direct deposit and things like that. And so I would really build a relationship with them before I apply if I'm looking to get approved for high credit limits. Now, like when I had did it, I really wanted to get a high limit because with Navy Federal, it's just like they say you get all these high limits, but I got approved for 6,700. So I still got approved, so that's okay. But it really depends. Now, I mean, I feel like you can be denied for any credit card, but I feel like if you have a high credit score, I don't think you will be denied. I just think you won't get a high credit limit if you have a low internal score. That's how I see it. Now, how you can get denied, one time, so I think I had applied for the Navy Federal More Rewards credit card, and I was trying to get my internal score because even I had got the auto loan, I had the Navy Federal Flagship, and I believe I had another credit card, but they never would send me my internal score. And even if I would go into the portal and ask them for my internal score, they wouldn't give it to me. So I said, I got the bright idea. I was like, aha, let me try this. So I said, let me apply for a credit card. So I had applied for the Navy Federal Cash Rewards card, and it was less than 91 days to see because I knew I would get denied. I got denied, but I still didn't get my internal score because I thought once they denied me, they would send me my credit score and my internal score, but they denied me, and they just said that it was less than 91 days. So that's how I got denied. But I really feel like if you have a high credit score, I don't think you'll be denied. But if you feel like you have a low internal score, I think you would probably get approved, but get a low credit limit. But that's just my thoughts. What's up, Nino? How are you doing? I hope that you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining. And then we have Caesar in the house. What's up, Caesar? Caesar, have you put out any videos on your channel? I'm going to have to go look because Caesar, y'all. He is the plug. He when he responds in the comments, he has so much good information about all of the credit cards. And I know that he was going to be starting up a YouTube channel soon. So you will have to check out to see if he has his YouTube channel up. So Caesar, you'll have to let us know. Okay, yeah, he did say that it is in Spanish, but I believe you can put in to where you can maybe change it to English. I'm not for sure. But if there are any other Spanish speaking people, then maybe that they can still come to your channel. Let's see. Charles said, do I suggest a pledge loan too? Charles. Okay, so here are my thoughts about the pledge loan. To me, it's really going to depend on what is your end game. What is your end game in all of this? Because to me, it has to be a reason. So one, I'm always going to suggest pulling your credit report so that you can see where's your score and how is your credit profile looking. Then let's say if possibly your credit score is not that well, or if you're just wanting to go ahead and like let's say you just get your Navy Federal and you want to try to go ahead and get a credit card, then let's say, especially if you want it for a high credit limit, possibly you can get a pledge loan. But I would definitely say do a pledge loan for a higher limit, not a $50 pledge loan or something like that. Really kind of let's say for 1,000 or 3,000, so that you can get a longer term, because to me a longer term is going to look better on your credit report, and then you just pay it off 90% and then just pay the remaining 10% down. Just my opinion on that. But to me, it has to be a reason as to why I want to do the pledge loan. But I do think the pledge loans, especially people have put in comments and stated that they waited 3 months, they got a pledge loan, but for a higher limit, and they did the pledge loan, and then they did direct deposit and things like that. And then that's how they got the 25,000. So I would just say, really have a reason as to why you want to do it, not just doing it. Let's see. Dan Anderson. What's up, Dan? How are you doing? I really appreciate you joining the live stream today. You guys will definitely have to check out his video as well. He has more so of a music channel, and he plays the guitar, and he really be rocking and rolling over there on his channel. So y'all will definitely have to check him out. And y'all have to check out Before the Billions channel too, because he has a good channel as well. Let's see. Caesar said, I have to work on my English. No problem. Let's see. Nino said, I just paid off a personal loan. It was a 12-month term, and I paid it off in 10 months. That is great. It was not a pledged loan, but I got an email and a postcard congratulating me for paying it off. Yes, Navy Federal has awesome customer service. I could not agree more. I definitely think that Navy Federal has good customer service. Because really, like, any question that you have, they always are so helpful. And and so I would say that most definitely give them a call, because I know even with the pledge loan, not the pledge loan, even with the certificate, because when I had got the certificate, because when it says 4.88, but then the APY is 5%. But see, and so I was just like, it doesn't really make sense. Well, it says the dividend is 4.88, but then the APY is 5%. And so it was just like, it wasn't computing with me all the way. And so then I called them, and we had kind of talked through it, and they were so nice. And so I definitely feel like Navy Federal has really, really good customer service. Let's see. What's up, Jean? Let's see. Oh, Jean says, let's see. Hey, Tasha and everyone, I got the grant card for you. Jean, what card? What card is this? Let's see. Charles says, I have an 811 credit score, and I'm looking to purchase my first home. Wow. I think that is good. And I would definitely even go on to the Navy Federal site. Let's see if we can pull it up. And because see, I would really want to see, let's see. That's for the home equity. But you can get loans through oh, there we go, mortgages. Here we go. And so they have the different kind of loans. They have the VA loans, and they have the conventional fixed rates. So they have 5.25 and 4.4, because I think that's low, because I thought that the rate was maybe like 6% on the home loans, but I'm not for sure if they have kind of went down a little bit. But I would say that it's probably, to me, it's going to be maybe similar to the auto loans. And so I would just say to give them a call. And then they have the calculators as well for the for the mortgage calculators. So, I really that's what I'm saying. I really like the Navy Federal site. And so sometimes I'll just come over here and kind of look at stuff, because it's just like right here, renting versus buying. And y'all have to let me know, what do you think about renting versus buying? Because I still feel like overall buying is good, but I think it really depends, because I feel like nowadays you do kind of want to be a little bit more mobile. And so sometimes if you rent, so I think it just depends. But I think for sure buying is good, but it's going to really depend on your lifestyle. So I think that's good. But then and then okay, what kind of term? Do you want a 15-year or do you want a 30-year? So, and I would definitely say fixed rate mortgage, not an adjustable rate mortgage, most definitely a fixed rate mortgage. But I even want to say this says 15 years versus 30 years, but I'm pretty sure that I heard that they had went up 30, it was even more than 30 years on the loans for the mortgage. But I'll have to look into that. But yeah, I would most definitely say, come on to the site and take a look and see, right here's the qualifier for the home loan, and then the monthly payment calculator, the closing cost calculator, the down payment calculator. So I think that's good. And y'all, today I was thinking, and somebody let me know in the comments, because today I was thinking, because I was so I've been in my home for several years, and I was just like, you know what? It's like, should you like, do you have a handyman that can come and take a look at the house and stuff? Because I had to get I ended up having to get a water heater last month. Last month I had to get a water heater. And so I'm just like, maybe I should get somebody to come out here and just kind of, I don't know, not appraise the house, but can you get like a where somebody comes out and just takes a look to see how things are going with the house and stuff. And so I'm like, I really need to do something like that. So I was thinking about that earlier before I came on. I just be thinking about stuff sometimes. I was just like, what if I had somebody come out here and just take a look at the house and see, how good the house is still holding up and things. And so but I know in my neighborhood, I would say maybe last year, like that was really, I would say maybe like in between May and August, I really was considering selling, because they were really it was really like at the top of the market. But it's just like right now, because I get the letters in the mail where they'll tell me, okay, for my area, how much the houses are selling for. And I'm just like, it has went down quite a bit. So it's just like right now, I don't know that I would want to sell, but I don't think that I would want to sell. I think I would want to keep it. But you know how you want to take care of your, property and things like that. And so I was just like, I need to consider having somebody come out and taking a look at the house. Let's see. Before the billion says, I have to get active again on YouTube. Oh, okay. So you're studying to get your tech certifications. That's pretty cool. But I know you still have some good content on there, because like if you have evergreen content. But I know that you'll be able to get back at it if that's what you're wanting to do. But I hope that you get your certification. Let's see. Jean says, I would say do a 15-year. And I think it depends, because we would have to see, because it's just like now I feel like if you want to get a, let's see, even like the houses that I was looking at, to because see, let's say if I wanted to upgrade from where I'm at, and if I got a 15-year mortgage, because I feel like right now you have to get a house, and it has to be, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be, but I feel like in my area, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. I feel like you have to get a house at least 375. I would say maybe, yeah, 375 and up. And that's going to give you maybe like 3 bedrooms and let's say like a media room. Because I would have to have at least, if I would say I would need like 3 bedrooms maybe like 3 or 4 bedrooms, because I would need because I have 2 bedrooms now. I have a townhome, so I have 2 bedrooms now. So I have an office and then I have my bedroom. But let's say when people come visit, because like my little niece came over here the other day and my mom came over here, and it's just like I don't have, like an extra room. And so I really I would want to have an extra room. So, even like when my sister comes visit me, so that she don't have to sleep on the couch. And then I would have to have a office, so like when I record and when I'm at work. And so see right there, I already need 3 bedrooms and then probably like an extra room. So where I could maybe have me like a workout room or something. So, and then I would want a garage. And so like a lot of the houses are, I would say probably 360 or up. So I don't know. And then too, you have to find a house, because it's just like I think a lot of houses are in like HOAs. They have like HOAs, because I have an HOA now, but I'm just like I don't want an HOA. If I, let's say if I was to move again, I would not want an HOA. So yeah, so if I was to get a house for 360,000 for 15 years, that would be $2,277. That's a lot. So, whew, I don't know. So I probably would. What I do? Let's see, 30 years. Well, 30 years will be 1,500 for 30 years. So I think it would depend. But of course, you know, um, a lot of people would say to do the 15 years. So we would have to see. But yeah. But all right, y'all. I just wanted to jump on here and talk about the auto loan, and then we talked about I was telling y'all about my sister got her student loans forgiven but she has the public service loan, so that was pretty good. And then we were talking about the housing, and we talked about a few credit cards. But I definitely appreciate you guys for joining the live. Giving a shout out to Before the Billions. Thanks so much for joining. Dan Anderson, him joining. So y'all go take a look at their channels. And then Wally, yes, I got to give a shout out to Wally. And you'll have to check out his channel as well. And then let's see, Caesar, even though he says that his channel is in Spanish. So if you speak Spanish and you want to go over to his channel, or even if you're trying to learn Spanish, you could go over to his channel as well. And then we had a lot of good questions in the chats. Let's see, Nino says that's not a lot if you live in New York. Woo, I'm pretty sure, because the houses in New York are a lot. And I just even thinking about how much you have to make, because I was watching something and they were asking, do you think you can survive off of making $25 or less? And so I thought that was a pretty good question. And then some people are saying, well, in New York that wouldn't be a really good if you made less than $25 in New York, that would not be a good living. So yes. Benino says, have a great evening. You have a great evening as well. I thank you so much for joining. So I appreciate all of y'all, and I definitely hope that y'all have a great rest of the night, and we will chat soon. So have a good one. Peace out.